Ranch, Frank Tyson did telephone Jane Doe, urged her to return with her children, and did say, quote, "I know Michael would love for you to come back to the ranch for the safety of all concerned, and now is not the right time to be out there alone. Never turn your back on Michael, and Michael wants to see you and the family, and you need to go back to the ranch and see Michael because he's very concerned, and even staying another night alone is not safe." Frank Tyson did tell Jane Doe that, quote, "We would love for you to go on tape and just say something beautiful about Michael," end quote. And that's just...
Well,
just right out of the jury instructions. That's the jury says.
But you know what? I love that tape. And you know what? I wish, first of all, I wish you could actually, we had the time to play that tape because it was played in court. And I heard that tape. Yeah. It's a terrific conversation for Frank. I mean, it's a terrific conversation for Michael, too, for the conspiracy account. But particularly Frank, what you don't have in there is her responses. You know, on the tape, she's heaping praise on this kid. She is saying...
She didn't like the Germans. She's afraid of the Germans. They're the ones who've been praised.
She said, "Let me finish, would you please?"
And then would you let him return?
No. She's saying, "Frank, I love you. You're like a brother to my children. Right. You're like family to us. You've always been good to me. Thank you for caring for me. I am scared. There are reporters camped outside my house." Now, you don't have that in there. It makes it look like Frank's just inventing this reason for her to come back and feel safe at the ranch. Listen. She is saying, I am concerned. Yes, does Frank want to protect Michael? Does Frank want to protect Michael's reputation? Does Frank want him back on the tape? Absolutely.
Hold on. There was testimony about the killers out there. We're not talking about the guys with cameras.
Not from him.
No, I understand. But the conversations about being safe, there were allegedly people out there threatening because of the Bashir tape. So why was it, who's telling you, why was it you need to get her back on the place?
I got to interrupt. I'll let him answer. Okay. I heard the tape. He didn't listen to that tape. Okay. I was ready for litigation. I was ready for trial. I heard the answer. The answer is, she is saying, I don't feel safe on that conversation played in court. She's saying there are reporters camped outside my house. Okay. I'm scared. I don't... And yes, then you could answer, but that's the bottom line. He's responding to her concerns. That's why she's heaping praise on him. He's not overbearing. He's not threatening her. He's not making demands.
Okay, even saying another night alone is not safe.
Based on her concern.
This is your interpretation. But your answer to that, these people are leaving, and you're saying, come back, be safe here. You didn't tell Michael you were going to leave. He's very concerned. You need to come back. Why?
Why? Because this is a family. Like Joe said, you were only saying one part of it. I'm glad Joe was there to say the other part. Who was scared? Who came to me, Frank, and said, "Frank, I'm getting threats. There's reporters coming to me. There's reporters."
The reporters aren't threatening.
No.
She said she was getting threats on the tape.
Yeah, okay.
She said that. We don't know from who, but she said that she was. Okay. So you know what? Due to the responsibility, to an extent, from watching the Bashir interview, this is really what caused it. The Bashir interview. And after that, she's been getting problems from the schools that her kids were in. She's been getting problems from the kids every single day. She's been getting calls from reporters asking her to write a story. Sure. A story, but they didn't want they wanted a bad story from her. She happened to say, "Frank, these people everywhere, I don't know what to do." Now you have to understand, this is a family who has nothing. And you know what? What are they supposed to do? Are we supposed to abandon them at that point when indirectly it's kind of our responsibility that they're in this mess?
Well, on that tape, she tells you over and over again that the Germans have intimidated her. She's worried about the Germans, very uncomfortable about the Germans. And you tell her, they're gone. Come home, they're gone. First thing she sees when she comes back, on your assurance, they're there. Why'd you lie to her?
I never lied to her. I never lied to her.
You told her the Germans were gone?
No, I told her.
A lie is an intentional misstatement of it, yeah. I mean, before we
all right, let's take
why did you say that, and why did they hear?
Why did you say it?
They were not supposed to have, and they never did after that. They didn't have to deal with the Germans, or so you call them.
I'm using her terms.
I'm just, excuse me, so she calls them.
Yeah.
And I told them, you don't have to deal. She trusted me. She wanted me to help her. And you know what? I really didn't want to have anything to do with this. And you know what? I did, because I was the only one at that point that she trusted, and I did. And I tried to help the best I
could. There was some testimony about one thing, but before I get that, your family got to know him. You've had Thanksgivings, Christmases. I think there's something about calling your grandmother, Grandma. Michael does, very, very close. I understand he's bought the family cars,
Cars?
given gifts.
How would, like,
true or not? No, you tell
No,
me.
show me
True or
what
not.
car. False.
This is what's been reported, so I'm giving you a chance to
Just
tell me.
like any human relationship with any family, Christmas time or whenever you do exchange presents. There's no cars or buying things to buying us up. No.
Didn't give your father a big multi-$100,000 loan or gift?
No.
No?
Never.
No money?
Never.
Ever to your father?
Never.
Okay. Now again, these are things that have been reported. I'm giving you an opportunity to address it.
No. And by the way, so, I mean,
No,
so,
I understand.
I'm not blaming you for it. It's how
a prosecutor is going...
from the alleged accusers acts we've come. Michael,
we're talking about
12 years ago, when
we're talking about the conspiracy now. And in fact,
so
if a
12
prosecutor...
years ago, if a gift was given to Frank's father that was getting ready for 12 years down the road, his son to become a co-conspirator so he could swirl these people who probably weren't even
No,
born
and I didn't
yet?
say 12 years ago.
Oh.
Could have been yesterday as far as I know. But in fact, if there's a pecuniary interest, it does make an arguable point as to why somebody would say the things they said.
Yeah.
And to follow that up, there was that check they talked about, $1 million given over to you from the Neverland Valley, but made out to cash. A lot of people have said, whoa, that's why he's being so nice to Michael.
Whoa, I wish I had the money, to be honest with you. But I don't.
That'd be nice.
It would be very nice, especially at this point. I would love to have this type of money.
Me too.
You too.
Look at you.
You pay bills, right?
I'm talking pay.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But you say you don't, and people go, okay, well, there's plenty of offshore accounts. How do we know you don't have the money? It was cash, for God's sake.
How do I know? Or how
No. I'm asking you, because that certainly argued, that was sort of suggested that you were paid off in the course of the trial.
Excuse me.
What happened?
No.
Give me the answer what happened with money, sir.
The whole thing with the money really comes down to, and it's very hard, like I said, for the outside society to understand, yeah, $1 million cash, but we're talking on a whole nother level.
But we're talking about a guy who's supposed to be going bankrupt.
No, but we're talking on a whole nother level here. We're not talking about the everyday person on the street. So yes, it's very difficult maybe from the outside looking in to fathom, wow, $1 million in cash. But
What happened to the money?
It wasn't his money.